The ECB has put forward its programme to end the Eurozone crisis. But will the region's governments, particularly those in Italy and Spain, keep their end of the bargain? Well, I'm joined now by Romano Prodi. He's one of the Euro's founding fathers and former Prime Minister of Italy. Mr. Prodi, thank you very much for joining us. Reuters are reporting today that Spain is going to enter talks next week about ECB aid. Do you think Italy will follow shortly after?
I cannot give you an answer because Monti has said that till now he doesn't ask for it. I simply tell you that in case Monti asks, I don't find any scandal for the conditionality, because if you ask something, if it's natural that you have condition in order to fulfill the goals. What is important is that this conditionality is not imposed by one country, but is a rule of the club in which Italy and Spain, they take part, In this case, I think that is fair.
But there's a feeling that Italy has done its fair share. It's already imposed tough austerity. Do you think Italy could accept more conditionality, tighter conditionality?
I am convinced that there will be no need of more conditionality because our growth, because of the strict decision taken, is already negative, strongly negative. And so I think that everybody is convinced that if you put in right place the numerator, but you decrease with the denominator, the situation will worsen, will not improve. So simply, I think that we have to, any country has to open a discussion, and if accept conditionality, takes the money. If not accept, doesn't take the money.
But there is a perception that after the elections in the spring next year, that Italy, whoever comes in and replaces Mr. Monti, Italy may backslide, it may start to renege on the commitments that Mr. Monti has pledged. Do you think this is likely to happen?
No. No, because it's, Italy, it's clear the debate has demonstrated that we have no interest and no way to get out of the euro or to get out of this of the role that we have in Europe. My feeling is different. That Italy, France, Spain, we must agree together in a viable platform in order to help also Germany to have a policy of let's say, recovery in Europe, because if there is no recovery, we shall never can fix our things, But the sovereignty of European states is not preserved now. Not only Italy, but any country, not only European. Now with the international speculation, we have to behave in a way different from the behavior that we could have without this domination of finance,
But Europe is pressing further and is going further towards greater closer political integration and union. That's something that's not politically acceptable to many people within countries. I'm thinking of the parties in Italy, Lega Nord, for example, and Mr. Berlusconi. Pooling of sovereignty doesn't sell well at elections.
Oh, well, in theory, yes. I am convinced that in the end of the story, the Italians are pro-European, Italy, the Italian modernity has always been correlated with Europe. And this is still embodied even in the new generation, Then you criticize, you make a populistic movement, a decision, but in the deep of the south, of the Italian south, there is Europe.
Do you think Mr. Monti will, could or should extend his term as Prime Minister?
It will depend upon the results of the election and upon his will. He denied that. I am convinced that if there is a standstill and if he is asked again to give a service to the country, he will do it. You know, but if there is a clear winner of the election, the winner will be Prime Minister or will designate the Prime Minister.
There's also a perception, perhaps abroad, maybe not within Italy as much, that if Mr Berlusconi was to win re-election again, that would be a disaster for Italy and potentially for the Eurozone. Is that a view that you share?
I think that I always was the opinion that Berlusconi has never abandoned politics, you know. If you abandon politics, you don't interfere in the life of your party. You don't designate your successors, and then you put him in a corner, as he did, you know. He is simply looking how things are going on in order to decide whether there is a possibility of success. Till now, this is very slim, but politics is a strange animal, you know.
Just to finish up, I said in my introduction you're one of the Euro's founding fathers. Do you think the Euro will survive intact in its current form?
Yes, simply because it's German interest too, you know. Now Germany is in a very funny situation. Let's say the electorate has been pushed to tell that you know, we cannot give money to lazy southern people, Europeans, and so on. But then when you go close to the breakup, all the business community, all the German, let's say, public opinion understand that Germany has never been so powerful in economic terms and never had the surplus like now, you know. And so I think that Germany needs time to reunify its own public opinion, and the result will be that we shall have a pro-Euro Germany.
Merkel re-election next year?
Merkel re-election or Merkel part of the winning coalition, you know, as I think probably the probability that she will stay in power and have time to reunify the public opinion, but the reunification will be in favor of the Euro.